What's up, fellow movie lovers? Welcome to Groovy Film Talk. This is a channel where I plan on geeking out and being a nut about films, past, present, and future. So, if you want to come along on this journey with me, please hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that like button down below. Make me feel good about myself. Make me feel like I'm doing something right. Help a brother out. Scream 5 comes out next week. And the trailer has not been that impressive, but I have always been a huge fan of the Scream films, even though they have some flaws. A couple of the films have some flaws, but we'll get to that. Right now, we are talking about the iconic Scream 1. The original Scream, 1996, 26 years ago. Somehow, we getting old, brothers and ladies. We are getting old, but this movie is not. The movie is not getting old. It has aged tremendously well. It is still infinitely rewatchable. I think when my son gets older, I'm gonna show him this movie and just explain the whole history to him. 1996 when this movie came out. Slasher genre was all but dead. Films like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween franchise, they had come and gone. Not really gone. They sneak in there and throw out another trash movie every once in a while. But Scream just breathed new life into the slasher genre. It was clever. It was witty. It was funny at times. It had a biting commentary on slasher films as a whole. It played with different tropes. It'll make you think it was doing one thing, and because like all the other slasher movies do this. So when she opens this door, we're gonna have a musical cue come in that says that scares you and makes you think somebody's gonna be behind the door when she closes it, but she just closes it. It's nothing there. It just plays with your expectations because you've seen so many of these slasher films before, and Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, who was a screenwriter, not screamwriter, little dad joke for that ass. But they knew exactly what they were doing, and they knew exactly the expectations we would have going into a slasher film, and they used that to their advantage. And I'll forever love this film for that. Let me get right to it. By the way, I'm gonna do a Scream retrospective series. I should have said this from jump, but I'm gonna do a series where I review each Scream film leading into Scream 5, which comes out next week. But yeah, I think the script was tremendous. The cast is great. I don't know if Neve Campbell, no, she wasn't an unknown at this time because I think she was in the craft already. But I should get my facts straight before I record a video, right? But no, they cast Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, and many others in this movie. Drew Barrymore was on a freaking poster for this thing, right? Everybody like, oh, Drew Barrymore, new starring vehicle, new movie for Drew Barrymore, let's see it. She out of here after the first scene. An iconic opening scene. One of the more iconic opening scenes in any slasher film, I think. And I was rewatching this with my wife today. And when I seen it happen, I'm like, as much as I love this series, there is not a better scene in this movie than the opening scene with Drew Barrymore. Hour and a half later, I was eating my words. I literally forgot how good of a third act this movie has. When they're at that house party, and you got Randy explaining the rules of horror films, which is my second favorite film or scene in this film. Because again, it just plays with your emotions that you already had coming into it, because you know how slasher films work. Virgins always win in the end. If you do drugs, you smoke weed, you drink a beer, you get a little fingy. Sorry for that explicit content. Do anything nasty, you pretty much out of here. For whatever reason, that killer is coming for that ass. He pretty much explained them that in a much more artistic way than I just did. He explains that to his class and party mates, and you got the great. No, I would never say this before, but something about the Scream performance that Matthew Lillard gives, the great Matthew Lillard. I think we need to call him that just for this movie alone. Talking in circles, because let me get back to the scene I was talking about, which is better than that opening scene. And it's the scene in the kitchen where they explain their whole evil, psychotic, bizarre plan to Sydney, and everything starts to come together and everything makes sense. You know, one, we're so used to having one killer in these films, and we sit there and we could critique all the time about how the hell did he kill her over here and somehow make it over here walking that slow, killing this other person a minute later. This film knows that. Smart film, it knows that. And simple solution to that, surprise, we got two killers. So you find out all along it's been one person that you may have suspected and another person that might not have hadn't been on your radar. And Stewie, Matthew Lillard. And yeah, when they explain their plan and they start stabbing each other, and I swear Matthew Lillard just gives an amazing, hilarious, and bizarre, I'm gonna use that word again, bizarre performance. You know, crying and it's just everything he was doing was just so entertaining. I love that scene. I love him for that. And yeah, man, I think the meta commentary thing has always been something I've been attracted to. Like, a lot of my favorite forms of content and forms of media are meta. You know, Deadpool, the greatest American television sitcom in history, Community, is also very, very meta. And I think that's why I love it. So one of the many reasons why I love it so much. And Scream fits that same mold. It's meta as hell. It makes fun of its peers. It makes fun of itself. It makes fun of the genre. And I just appreciate that so much. And it does all that while still being a smart, entertaining, iconic horror movie. So, yeah, I think I'm still working on a grading system for these videos. And when I get better at these, I promise they'll get a lot more in depth. And my personality will keep coming out more and more. But this shit gets an A+ on my grading scale. I think I'm going to do a letter grades, like in school and shit. So, yeah. A+ for Scream 1. Love this movie so much. Love it. Had a great time rewatching it this morning with the wife. Yeah, that's all I got. Peace.